Hey everybody. So, started sorting through the Nemesis. Taking my sweet time once again. Got some extra cards here that decided to put aside because they're fun things to talk about. Nemesis is a much better set than Arcadian Masks was. And this despite the fact that it's part of the same block. You got stuff like the Silken Fist Fighters, a colorless and a white for a 1/3 that if he becomes blocked, you untap him. It's an interesting mechanic. Kind of like it. It's similar to, though not the same as Vigilance. I'm not. I mean, it's probably redundant with Vigilance, to be perfectly honest, but it's an interesting variation. Like Vigilance if it becomes blocked. We got Seal of Cleansing. It's an enchantment, does nothing. You can sacrifice it and for a disenchant effect, destroy artifact or enchantment. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, if you've got extra mana available on a turn, you can drop it and then have that response on board ready if you need it later because you've already paid for it. It's kind of nifty. Topple, that's an interesting kind of removal spell. 2 colors and a white sorcery. And exile target creature with the greatest power in play from the game. I think so. Yeah, exile target. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna trip over my own tongue all over this, aren't I? Okay, the exact text on it: remove target creature with the greatest power from the game. So basically, target creature with the greatest power or tied for greatest power on the battlefield is exiled. Shazam. We got Defiant Vanguard, 2 colors and a white for a 2/2. 5 colors, tap, search your deck for a rebel with mana cost 4 or less, put it into play. He's also got an interesting little ability here as well. When he blocks at the end of combat, destroy him and all creatures blocked by him. He's one of those cards that, you know, the indestructible mechanic was made to go on. Oh yeah. What else we got here? We've got Lawbringer. He's a 2/2 for 2 colors and a white. Tap him, sack him, and remove target red creature from the game. He also had another creature, same power toughness, same casting cost, called Lightbringer, that did the exact same thing, except he got rid of black creatures. So, you know, you're seeing, you know, shades of the old voice angels. Well, you know, voice of law, voice of duty, voice of reason, etc., etc., etc. Chieftain Doll, he's a 2/2 for colors and double white. He's a knight. When he attacks, attacking creatures gain first strike till end of turn. It's kind of interesting. It reminds me a little bit of Acacian Skirmishers, which was a 1/1 banding creature for 4 mana, and it had first strike, and all creatures banded with it gain first strike till end of turn, and it's kind of interesting. And here's the stack of sorted cards. I put a couple cards sideways to indicate I wanted to mention them briefly. We have the Voice of Truth, because there was in Urza's block you had the Voice of Law, that was 3 colors and a white for a 2/2 flying pro red angel. And you had the Voice of Grace, that was pro black. Then later you had voice of duty, who was pro-green. And then you had voice of reason, which was pro-blue. And here we have a couple sets after Urza's blockly printed voice of truth, which is pro-white. As a fun, happy side note, it wouldn't be till a couple of sets later, in I believe this plane shift. Wouldn't be until a couple sets later in plane shift that we got the voice of all, which I believe was 2 colors and double white for 2/2 flying. And as it comes into play, you choose a color, and it's got protection from that color. Kid science, fun stuff. Oh, hey, look at that parallax wave. I wasn't even intending on talking about that one. That was a nasty control card. Did mean stuff. One of the nasty things you could do with something like parallax wave was play opalescence, which turned enchantment into creatures, and then removed parallax. Remove the parallax. Move counter from the parallax enchantment to remove itself from the game, and then because it leaves the game, it comes back in, and it comes in with a full set of counters. Blah 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 blah. It was annoying. It was a pain in the butt talks. It was a lot of things. Now we also have Blinding Angel I wanted to talk about. We have 3 colors and double white for a 2/4 flyer. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player skips his or her next combat phase. If you could... flying is a relatively common evasion ability. So... it's not like it can't be stopped easily, but on the other hand, there's a lot of people that will neglect flying, and that's a card that'll hurt them for it. Because most decks rely on creatures for their offense. So, it can lock people down. As far as Nemesis is concerned, I didn't have a hell of a lot of white. I don't have much black for it either. But, I got a lot of green for it, and part of the reason for that is because I think everyone went out of their way to try and get green a lot of times, simply on account of the fact, Blastoderm! It's a 5/5 for 4 mana, I mean, yeah, he goes away in a few turns, but he hits like a truck. There were some rares that he would be drafted over because he was just playing that good. It was also nasty in Planar Chaos when they shifted him to white. Oh yeah. White just doesn't belong getting creatures that big. Not that cheap. That's just me, I guess. I don't know. Lord. So, yeah. Relatively quick update. Get this posted. I finished sorting through all this stuff. Made something to eat, and then I'm like... Then I would start procrastinating making the video, so I'm like, hey, you know what? I might as well make it now. I'm thinking of it. If I don't, I'm going to forget about it, maybe take a nap, I don't know, and lo and behold, it's going to be like 11:40 something at night, and I'm going to be loading it onto YouTube. It's like, no! Yeah. Alright. Not sure how fast I'm going to burn through the rest of this stuff. I would like to burn through faster so that I can clear the space out for 1 or 2 other things. Oh, I'll catch you guys later. Be good.